let's deal with this carefully because this story gets often misunderstood. In 2025, several African currencies didn't just survive global pressure, they outperformed. And that alone breaks a narrative most people never question. For decades, African currencies are described using the same language. They fall, they weaken, they collapse under stress. And that framing became so automatic, it stopped being tested against reality. But last year, while currencies across Europe, Asia, and Latin America struggled, some African currencies quietly climbed, or held steady when others failed. So while the world expected African currencies to fall, others climbed instead. And this didn't happen because Africa suddenly got lucky. And it doesn't mean Africa's problems have disappeared. It happened because global conditions have shifted, and some African institutions adjusted faster than expected. And remember, if you want more Africa First stories the Western media ignores, hit subscribe. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth behind them. And by the end of this video, you'll understand which African currencies actually performed well in 2025, why they did, and why that still doesn't mean what most people think it means. But first, we're going to take a look at the purported top 10 strongest currencies in Africa.
5. In 2025, these are the top 10 strongest currencies in Africa, ranked by their value against the US dollar. Let's count them down.
Number 10, the Namibian dollar. One US dollar equals about 18.5 Namibian dollars. Its strength comes from a stable economy and a currency pegged to South Africa.
Number 9, Lesotho Loti. $1 equals roughly 18.5 Loti. Its value stays strong because it is directly pegged to the South African rand.
Number 8, the South African rand. $1 equals about 18.5 rand. Strong mineral exports like gold and platinum support its value.
Number 7, Eritrean Nakfa. $1 equals around 15 Nakfa. Strict currency controls and limited circulation help maintain its strength. Number 6, the Seychellois rupee. $1 trades for about 14.3 rupees. A strong tourism sector and steady foreign currency inflows help keep it valuable, while the islands themselves keep it unforgettable.
Number 5, Botswana Pula. $1 equals roughly 13.3 Pula. Diamond exports and strong fiscal discipline support its strength.
Number 4, the Ghanaian cedi. $1 equals about 14.8 cedis. Export growth and economic reforms have strengthened the currency.
Number 3, Moroccan dirham. $1 equals around 10 dirhams. A stable exchange system and strong tourism drive its value.
Number 2, the Libyan dinar. $1 equals about 5.4 dinars. Massive oil reserves give this currency exceptional strength.
Number 1, the Tunisian dinar. $1 equals just 3 dinars, making it Africa's strongest currency in 2025.
All right, so currency strength is rarely discussed honestly, right? So for years, African currencies were framed as symbols of permanent instability, disconnected from global systems and judged in isolation. But currencies don't move on reputation. They respond to structure, they respond to commodity prices, interest rate policy, capital flows, reserve levels, right? And the strength or weakness of the US dollar. So in 2025, several African economies benefited from a rare alignment. Commodity prices remained elevated. Some central banks tightened aggressively, right? And foreign exchange reserves stabilized or improved. And the US dollar weakened after years of dominance. So as a result, some African currencies appreciated while others simply did not collapse in a year when many global currencies did. And that alone counts as outperformance. So turns out currencies listen to math and not just narratives. So let's be precise. African currencies did not outperform as a block. Specific currencies did. and for specific reasons. So, Botswana, the Botswana Pula, is one of Africa's most consistently stable currencies, and it's performed well because of conservative fiscal management, strong foreign exchange reserves, diamond revenues managed long term, low political volatility. Botswana didn't win in 2025 by gambling. It won by not panicking when others did. So stability is built years before the headline arrives, and that's why Botswana is one of the top performing currencies of 2025. And then the Moroccan dinar. Morocco is a case study in controlled resilience. And it's held firm because it's managed exchange rate system, tourism recovery, and automotive and phosphate exports. And they have a disciplined central bank policy where Morocco's currency didn't spike. It refused to slide, which counts as strength in a weak dollar year. Now we have Cote d'Ivoire and the CFA franc. So one of the most stable currencies on the continent, and it's ranked well because it's pegged to the euro and has strong cocoa exports and regional monetary discipline. And it's important to note that this is stability, not sovereignty. The peg reduces volatility but limits independent policy. So a strong looking currency can still be constrained. And then Kenya, so the Kenyan shilling. So it has a big rebound story. It's not a miracle, but it strengthened in 2025 because of aggressive interest rate hikes, export recovery, fiscal tightening, and improved current account balances. So this performance followed years of pressure, right? And the currency strength after austerity isn't victory, it's recovery. And then Ghana, so the Ghanaian city, one of the strongest rebound performers of 2025, and it surged because of a debt restructuring process. So inflation sharply reduced, gold export revenues surged, and it restored investor confidence. So the city had previously collapsed, but the truth here is that percentage gains look dramatic when the base was crushed, right? So falling hard makes bouncing back kind of look heroic here, but it's definitely a comeback story. So most people assume that African currencies outperformed, right? They hear it and assume that Africa is suddenly rich, structural problems are solved, the trend is permanent, and that's unfortunately a wrong assumption, right? So what's actually happening is that currency performance is relative and it's not absolute. Again, 2025, the US dollar weakened, global capital rotated into commodities. So gold, metals, and energy surged, right? Exporters benefited. But at the same time, several African central banks raised rates, tightened liquidity, controlled inflation, and defended reserves. So Africa didn't defy economics and followed them competently. So Africa's currencies didn't beat the system; they just navigated it properly, right? And this matters because we as Africans know that we're not, and Africa is not outside the global system; it's inside it. And when conditions change, outcomes change. And if institutions respond, that distinction matters more than optimism ever will. So stronger currencies actually lower import costs, ease inflation pressure, reduce foreign debt constraints. And for households, food prices stabilize, right? Fuel pressure eases, wages stretch further. And then for governments, fiscal space expands and borrowing credibility improves. So this isn't abstract. It touches every aspect of daily life. So what does this mean? It doesn't mean that poverty has disappeared or inequality closed or industrialization has arrived. Currency strength is a signal, not a solution. So a stronger currency doesn't build factories, it just buys time. And in a year when Europe stalled, Asia slowed, and Latin America wobbled, some African currencies showed major discipline, and that has forced investors to reassess long-held assumptions. And unfortunately, not all Africa benefited, but a few did, and that breaks the myth of automatic decline, and perception always follows performance. So, three realities will decide whether this moment lasts. Commodity dependence remains risky if prices fall, so currencies face pressure again unless value is added locally. Monetary discipline must continue where inflation returns and deficits widen and currency strength evaporates, right? And then strength must translate into structure. And the real test is whether governments use this window to invest in manufacturing, deepen regional trade, or build reserves and reduce dollar dependence. So temporary advantage only becomes power when it's institutionalized, right? So one emotional truth that we're going to close for the story is strong currencies don't fix economies, but weak currencies quietly break them. So, mashallah, that's your African insight for today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I'm Mr. EmpowerTV. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth behind them. This is Mr. Empower, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.